Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Missy Money channel. I'm Missy, I'm a mom of 3 and the owner of Missy Money, a small business that specializes in minimalist and aesthetic cash stuffing essentials to help inspire and motivate you on your personal finance and budgeting journey. Today I'm going to be cash stuffing my first paycheck of October, including variable expenses, sinking funds, and savings challenges. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, it is incredible to me that we are in the first week of October, but that is where we are. So as always, I am going to go ahead and start by unstuffing my variable expenses for the week, seeing what I've got left over in my wallet, and then deciding if I'm going to roll over those leftover funds into my next pay period or unstuff them and contribute them to savings challenges. I just did my unstuffing last night, late last night. I just did my unstuffing for the month of September, and there was a case where I needed to pop into my leftover variable expenses to try to cover an expense. I will post that video before this one, so if you haven't seen my unstuffing, go ahead and check that one out. But because of that, I might not have as much left over in my variable expenses as I normally would. So it does look like I've got a bit left in groceries, $26. I will go ahead and unstuff that. Eating out was fully spent. Gas, I have $5. I do normally roll gas over, but I'm going to go ahead and unstuff that because I just filled up. Spending money had $20 left. I will go ahead and unstuff that. Say yes was fully spent. Be kind, I did give out. Miscellaneous has $2 left. We'll go ahead and unstuff that. Spent, like I said, I just did my unstuffing, so I am ready for that one to be reset for the month. And so I'm going to go ahead and put in a new expense tracker for that so I can start recording my expenses for the month of October. So that is it for my wallet for unstuffing. And I will go ahead and put this cash to the side here and contribute it to savings challenges towards the end of this video. So in terms of my cash stuffing plan for October, I did go ahead and jump into my digital budget planner, and I made a few tweaks for October and for this pay period. I needed to, as I mentioned in my last video, if you haven't seen it yet, a big expense that I was not planning for were passports, and that did creep up this past week. Dan made an amazing point that we needed to make sure that we had our passports ready to go. We found out that his and I's were recently expired, so we needed to renew those, and then none of the kids have passports, and so we do need passports for this vacation that we've been saving up for. And so that was about a $650 expense that we were not planning on. So we were able to cover it with my Oops sinking fund and with our annual passes sinking fund, but we had to clear both of those to do it. So annual passes is typically what we save up for our zoo membership, aquarium membership, membership for our local theme park. And so want to make sure that I get that one built back up quickly. So I increased my weekly contribution to that, and then just made a couple of other small tweaks. And then I did go ahead and transfer my paycheck breakdown and cash planning over to my cash planning notepad. Just have my categories here, the amount that I'm going to stuff, and then the denomination. So I make sure that I remember how I planned out my cash stuffing. So I'll just go ahead and have that to the side. This week I am going to be cash stuffing $1,650. Again, my denominations look a little bit different than they have for the past month or so. So I will go ahead and pop this cash into my cash tray. I hope you all are having a great week. It has been a busy one towards the tail end of the week because we are getting ready for me to travel. So I am traveling. We have an away game this week. I am traveling with the team. I don't always travel for away games, but big ones I do. And I'm kind of learning the on the road piece of it. So when I am either on the road, I understand kind of the team orientation and how my team works around everything, capturing everything on the road. And also, so when I'm home and leading the home team, then I can better understand and direct the team that's away as well. So I am traveling for this week. So it has been busy just getting the kids all set up. Super excited for this one because it is a little bit of a further travel this time than my last away game was. So it'll be a good learning experience. All right, so my cash is in my cash tray. Let's go ahead and start by cash stuffing for my variable expenses. All right, so groceries. Groceries is getting our normal $200. A lot of this is probably going to go to Costco this week. We are going to make a Costco trip after Our kids kind of, it's called Tumblebees, but it's like a little like, you know, move your body kind of class, like a cross between early gymnastics and just like gross motor skills. So we'll probably head to Costco after that. Eating out is getting $150 this week. That'll be $150. Gas is going to get $50 this week. I'm not sure that I'll need to fill up since I just recently did, but if we do, we'll have it there. Spending is getting $40 this week. I'll do 2 20s for that. Again, with me traveling a couple days, hopefully I don't spend as much of that this week. Say Yes is going to get $40. Be Kind is going to get $5. And then miscellaneous always gets 50. I do 2 20s and a 10 for that just to give myself flexibility. And miscellaneous can either be a variable expense purchase that doesn't fall into any other category that I've got in my wallet, or if I overspend a category, miscellaneous is kind of how I, you know, what I use as a way to cover the overage. And then, like I said, spent is ready to go for this week. So that'll be it for my wallet. All right, next let's go ahead and pop into my long-term sinking funds. So starting with emergency. Emergency is getting $50 this week, which will put emergency at $500, $600, $650, $700, $750, $800, $850, $900, $950, $1,000, $20, $40. So $1,040. That is getting to be in a good place. Insurance is getting $30 this week. So insurance now has 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 400, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65. So $465 saved up in insurance. Next time we'll have to pay our car insurance premium will be December. So we've still got a bit of time on that one. Home is getting $50. So home now has 500, 600, 700, 750, 800, 850, 900, 950, 1,000, 50, 100, 20, 40. So $1,140 in home. Car is getting $15. So car now has 500, 600, 700, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 800, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So $840 in car. Subscriptions is getting $20 this week, which will put subscriptions at 100, 200, 250, 300, 350, 370, 390, 410, 430, 450, 470, 490, 510, 530, 550, 560, 65, 70, 75. So $575 in subscriptions. We're in great shape for that one. Subscriptions are just our annual subscriptions that come out of this envelope. So things like our Prime membership, Costco membership, I'm trying to think what else. Canva annual subscription. I've got a few, and most of them, I would say most of those are in like December, January. So we'll be ready for those when they come. All right, annual passes, annual passes. Wah, wah, wah. Empty envelope. Again, this was kind of the closest thing that I could pull from, aside from my oops and my short-term sinking funds, to cover those passports, friends. So in the, you know, had I thought about passports, what I would have done is actually used pre-trip prep within my Magical Vacation Savings Challenge to set a goal to be able to save up conscientiously for passports. I honestly just didn't think about it. So if you are planning a vacation, I think pre-trip prep is a great kind of a great category to consider for your passports if you need to get passports renewed or just new ones. But like I said, I didn't think about it. So I did empty out annual passes, in between my oops sinking fund and annual passes. I was able to cover that large expense, which is really nice. That's a benefit of cash stuffing. So it could have been way worse. But annual passes, we need to now kick into high gear to be able to save up in time for some of our family passes that we use. So I'm going to do $30 a week. And then I'll probably, October is a magic month for me. Whoop, whoop. Very excited about that. So I will probably, with the magic month, make sure that I refill annual passes to a place that's going to be good for us for the end of this year. All right, birthdays. Birthdays is getting $30. So birthdays now has 100, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 400, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70. So 470 in birthdays. And then St. Jude. St. Jude, I have $40. I again forgot to make this contribution. I have it saved. The reason that I forgot the past 2 months is I have it saved on my calendar for the actual last day of the month. So because I'm cash stuffing this paycheck before the technical last day of September, I think that's why I'm not remembering. So what I'm going to do is add $10 to this. I'm going to go ahead and just make a note to myself so I can make that contribution and then pull the $40 out for my September contribution. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to make a note to myself to the side here. And I make that online, so I'll just go ahead and pull that into my spent envelope. And that is it for my long-term sinking funds. As I mentioned before, we are getting close to needing a cash condensing. You can kind of see that my binder is getting a little bit full here. I think I'm going to wait though until the end of this month because, as I mentioned before, October is a magic month for me, and after a magic month paycheck, I always feel like I need a pretty significant condensing. So I think I'm going to wait until I'm all done with this month cash stuffing, and then we'll do a big condensing, and that will be a really big one. So so that'll be an exciting one. I love condensings. They're probably my favorite like cash stuffing thing to do, and probably my favorite cash stuffing video to film. So that'll be a good one. All right, short-term sinking funds. I am just going to start going through shopping. We cleared out. It was a big spend month. So like I said, if you haven't seen that Unstuffing video, probably a good one to watch. Shopping is flat out empty. So we will start refilling this one with $30. Clothing is also getting to be a little bit anemic thanks to the kiddos continuing to grow. So clothing now has 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75. Date nights. Date night is getting $20. So date night now has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 220, 225. Family fun is getting $50. So family fun now has 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 200, 10, 20. So 220 in family fun. Self-care is getting $20. So self-care now has 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 30, 35. 135, right? I think that's right. Lola and Luna. Hold on, guys. I just need to flip my page over here. All right. Lola and Luna are getting $25. So that will put Lola and Luna at 100, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 270, 290, 310, 330, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. So 380 in for the pups. And gifts was another one I completely emptied out. So gifts is getting $30. Had some birthdays that we celebrated on my side of the family, so we had to clear that one out. And then school is getting $50 this week, so it will now have, now have 50, 70, 90, 95. And then oops was also cleared out. So we will start building that one back up. I was so thankful that Oops was able to cover so much during this unstuffing. I had built that, it was close to, I think, probably $300 or $400. So it really was able to cover the lion's share of some of the overages, which was really great. So I highly recommend, if you don't have like a Oops or miscellaneous sinking fund, I highly recommend adding that to your collection. All right, so that is it, guys, for my short-term sinking fund binder. And that means it is time to move into savings challenges. So I am just going to reorganize my cash tray here a bit because we do have some singles left over this week. 25, 25, and a 1. All right, so let's pull out and start with our 52-week savings challenge. And we will go ahead and start with doubling up on this one again. So one of you, somebody left a super sweet comment saying they were really excited that I was going to be finishing this one early so they could see the whole thing and how it worked. So I'm super excited about it too. We will continue to double up on this, so I will be able to finish it by the end of October. So I will need to finish number 45 and 46. So I'll go ahead and grab 45. Well, actually, we'll just do 45 first. Sorry if you hear that like shaking in the background. It is our laundry going. And I think the dryer is on like full speed right now. So, all right, and that is 46. 45 and 46. All right, guys. I cannot believe we are so close. So close to finishing this one out. All right, that is it. It's also getting very large, but these binders can hold a lot, guys. There's still room in there, so. All right. Oh, hello. Need to put the tracker back. That would help. Okay, guys. Now we're ready for the 12-month savings challenge, and I'm super pumped about this one because we get to start the October savings challenge, and I love this little symbol, little October. And I've loved how I've just been using black on this and the consistency of black. If you like using colors, go for it. That's what I did last year, but I've loved just the simplicity of like filling in a part. So for this one, I think I'm going to fill in stems. Each pumpkin is going to be worth $10 again for the month. And I'm going to go ahead and do, I will do I want to? I think I'm going to do $150 for this first contribution because that will give me a really nice head start. So let's go ahead. That will be 15 of these symbols. And just doing the stems makes it super easy, and I love the way it looks. Look how cute that is. All right, guys, so that is it for October. I'll be able to finish this one early if I keep on that pace, and especially because, like I said, October is a magic month, so I have that extra week. So that'll be awesome to be able to kind of get that one ready. Next, let's pop into my holiday savings challenge. We will be spending our anniversary funds shortly. We have a plan for that. Halloween's fully funded. Thanksgiving's fully funded. Christmas needs $40. Oops, not 60, 40. And Christmas is just about fully funded, which is amazing. Pen is on its last life, I think. All right, so that is Christmas. And then I think I'm going to do, we'll just do 2 of these. So I'll do, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want to do? I think I'll do a 10 for New Year's and fill in 2. Just slow and steady progress on that one. And then I think I will do a big game contribution. That's $50 on this one. And for those of you that didn't catch, somebody had a question about this, why I'm doing so much for this. I work in professional sports, and so I'm just saving up in case, you know, if we make it to the playoffs, we want to bring the family to one of those games, just kind of giving us the flexibility. And if we don't, then it's a nice little bonus extra challenge to have just a little bit of extra money saved up for. So Valentine's Day, I'm going to do a contribution and just use the 2 singles that I had left over for that. Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day are kind of my singles savings challenges. I'll fill in one of those. And I think that's all I'm going to do this week for the Holiday Savings Challenge because we're a good bit ahead on that one. So that is it for that one. Now let's pop the rest of this into Magical Vacation Savings Challenge. So starting with our cruise fare, we'll use the $200 for that. Fill in one of those. We're about 2/3 of the way, if not, actually more than that. We're about 3/4 of the way through this challenge, so that feels wonderful to be so close. This one has been a bit daunting, but we are getting there. And then I'm just going to go through, and we'll just kind of, once we stumble upon challenges that have the right denominations, just kind of go through in order here. So this is for packing. The 5 there. Pre-trip prep, guys. This is the next challenge here is honestly where I should have had passports. That's where I should have saved for passports, but I just didn't think about it. All right, let's go find, that's fully funded. Tickets is fully funded. Entertainment. Let's throw a little bit of entertainment here. So I've got, we'll just do a row for entertainment. I've got 2 20s and a 10, so $50. So I'll be able to fill in a whole row here. We want to do, I mentioned this, but Bippity Boppity Boutique, and I think we would pull from this for that. It's entertainment, kind of, right? We also want to do one of like the meals with the characters at the castle, so, and I think we'll need to book that before we go, so probably be good to get entertainment kind of in a good place before that comes due. Activities, why not? I'll throw 20 against that. Actually, you know what? This is another 50, so we'll just go ahead and fill in another row for activities. And that will be all she wrote for this week. So some good progress. All right, guys, so before we wrap up, I do want to make an announcement that we are going to be doing a D-Stash bundle sale. I am likely going to film the video explaining everything that's going to be in those bundles this week, and I will aim to post it towards the end of this week. And then the D-Stash bundle sale will be the following Friday. I think we're going to do it on a Friday. Tell me, well, you all vote and tell me, is it more helpful for a D-Stash bundle sale to be on a Friday morning or on a Saturday morning? And I will go with the majority rules in the comments. So you let me know what day you would rather have it launch, on a Friday morning or Saturday morning. And then we will go ahead and schedule it out. And I will let you know in the video where I show you all the different components of it, what day we're going to end up going with. So if you've got a preference, go ahead and comment it on this video, and that will be really helpful input. But I'm really excited about this one because these stash bundle sales mean that we're making room for new products, and I do have quite a few new products coming in, so I'm super excited to announce those. It'll be a bit yet on those. They are currently in production or on their way over, and so I just want to make sure that we've got enough time to get those all logged. But before those make their way over here, I do need to make some room, so we are going to go ahead and do that through a D-Stash bundle sale. For those of you that haven't seen a D-Stash bundle sale before, it's essentially a collection of items that are going to be at a super deep discount for you to make room in my office for the new exciting things that are coming in. So that is going to be the plan. Like I said, I will announce that. I'll film a video on it early this week and announce it later this week, and I'll post that. I'm super excited for that coming up. But as always, just want to thank you for your support on this channel. As a viewer, if you like my videos, if you comment on them, or if you are a subscriber, all of that super tremendously helps my channel. And for those of you that are also supporters of the store, I can't tell you how much it means to me every single time I see an order come in and get to pack it up for you. Just being a small part of your personal finance and budgeting journey in some way just means so much to me and makes me feel really close to this community community, and just like we're all rooting for each other, and it's so awesome. So if you are on your own personal finance or budgeting journey, as always, I want to wish you a simple budget, a calm mind, and a happy life.